Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a combo tutorial on vinyl wrapping your 3D prints, as well as crafting lenses for 3D printed Spider-Man face shells. The model I'm going to be using as an example is going to be this lens from Sensational's PS4 Spider-Man shell file on Etsy. I'm going to go over processing the lens frames first, as it's a necessary step before applying the vinyl. Then I'll show how to apply the vinyl to the frame and finish up with the various ways I know how to make mesh for lenses. Let's get started. For the frames, I sent them over to be printed on my Bambu Labs A1 printer. After removing the support material, I'll do a first pass of sanding with some high grit sandpaper before spraying the frame with filler primer. After letting the primer fully dry, sand with a medium grit sandpaper to smooth the frame down for another layer of filler primer. The more filling and sanding you do, the better of a finish you will get on your frames.
Now after letting our last coat of primer fully dry, we can begin painting with our desired color. I'm going to be using this gloss black enamel from Krylon. Now remember that light coats are key to the perfect finish.
The frame is now fully painted, and once cured you can spray a top coat to give the frame your desired finish, but for my purpose of vinyl wrapping, the enamel gloss will work just fine. Now it's time for the vinyl. This might not be the proper way to do this, but I've gotten my best results with these methods. You're going to need your vinyl of choice, which in this case I have this textured carbon fiber vinyl, and then you're going to need a heat gun, a pair of scissors, craft knife, and a tool to just squeeze out any bubbles and to smooth out the vinyl. I just have this piece of scrapped craft foam. Start with cutting out a square of vinyl that's a bit bigger than the actual frame. This is going to be the sheet that goes on top. Then you're going to cut out two strips that are slightly thicker than the outside of the frame. That's going to be for the trim of the actual frame. And that's actually going to be all the vinyl we need for this frame. I start with the edge of the frame first, and then I'll do the top surface afterwards. We're going to start with just peeling the vinyl off the wrapper and just stick it down onto the back surface, wrap it around, and that's the first step. From there, we're going to take our heat gun and heat up the vinyl so we can stretch it over the edge of the frame. Once we've got the vinyl applied and heated and folded over like this, we can cut off the ends of the extra vinyl and fold it over onto itself so it's got that nice seamless overlap. Alright, now that we got that edge of the frame looking nice and perfect like that, we're just going to go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. Now that the edges of the frame are wrapped, we can go right along the edge of the seam with our craft knife and carefully trim off all this excess overlap. We're going to do that on both sides. Alright, for the front, we're just going to start by tacking down the vinyl to the largest surface area, which is going to be right up here on the corner of the lens. And just smooth that out as best as we can with our finger. And then right off the bat, we're going to start heating up the vinyl and stretching it over the rest of the lens. just going to keep heating it and stretching it until it contours all the lines as best as possible. I'm going to use my craft knife again to cut along the edge of the frame to get rid of any more excess vinyl from this top layer. After cutting a hole in the vinyl, I use the heat gun to fold the vinyl inside of the frame, then cut the last of the vinyl off with the craft knife. Alright, now that all of that excess vinyl is trimmed off, our frame is completely done. Alright, now for the mesh. I have a few different combos for this, and as I show them, I'll go over the pros and cons for each mesh. First is just the printed mesh that came with the file. This one's pretty easy, as it just comes with the lens, but you're going to need to tune your printer to reduce stringing and increase the quality of the mesh. Next is PC fan mesh. Also pretty easy, and in my opinion looks better than the printed mesh. Just cut out your lens shape and stick it into the frame. Now into the combos. This is printed mesh and steel mesh on top. Kind of a specific look, but great for Ramey style lenses. Lastly is PC fan mesh and clear acetate. This is the best looking combo to me, but the downside is that the lenses will fog up when wearing the mask. I do use this for my personal lenses though. And this is the finished product. I'll leave links to the materials I used in the description, and if you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the comments. If you want to stay up to date with my projects, go follow my Instagram as I post frequently there. That's about it. Thanks for watching.